Hey, welcome back to New Start Discipleship. So glad that you're here today. Today we are in Romans chapter 3. It's day number 14 of the 50, all right? We're in Romans chapter 3, justification by faith alone. Now let me explain what the transition we're making right now. So far, for the first 13 days, we've done nothing but stories, pretty much, all right? Pretty much nothing but stories. But there comes a point where you have stories and then you also have explanations, right? Like you have like synthesis, like trying to make sense of what it is, what happened in that story. Let me give you an example. So the three little pigs, you have the story and then you have like the making sense of it, right? You have the work hard, don't play around, build your house out of bricks, right? You get what I'm saying? Like with the whole, there's the story and then there's meaning, right? What's happening in Romans chapter 3 is meaning, okay? So these are actually letters that Paul or Saul wrote. We just finished reading about him, right, in Acts, in the book of Acts. And these are letters that he wrote to explain what happened, right? He's saying, here's the meaning behind the stories. And he's developing that under the leadership of Jesus. So I'm not going to take the time to explain all this or show all of tell you all the story, except that after Saul and Paul was saved, he went away into the desert or into the wilderness to a city, like kind of privately for about 3 years. And during that time, he studied out and thought and wrote and mulled over what was this gospel? What was this good news about Jesus? How would I explain it? And while he did that, Jesus helped him to understand and taught him what it was he was supposed to know. Now he's teaching it to us, all right? Now, Romans chapter 3 is a little bit heavy to read, okay? There's some heaviness here, but I will tell you, it's a powerful, powerful idea, and I want to key in on 2 verses, all right? First of all, Romans chapter 3, verse 23, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. He's pointing out that whether you're religious in your background or whether you're totally not, we've all fallen short and sinned. We've fallen short of the glory of God and we have sinned. We have disobeyed the Lord. So sin is anything that we say, think, or do that breaks God's law, or don't do, that breaks God's law. And so we know what God wants us to do. We're like, nope. And we think something different, we say something different, we do something different, or we don't do something we're supposed to do, and we break the law of God. So sin is this violation of God's law. I see what I'm supposed to do, but I don't want to do it. We've all done it. That's what Romans 3:23 means. Now, in verse 26, it says here that God did this to demonstrate, he offered Jesus as a sacrifice, verse 26, to demonstrate his righteousness at this present time. So God is right. He is righteous. He is completely reliable. And he says, I'm going to demonstrate my righteousness by sending Jesus to die. Look at this. So as to be just and the one who justifies those who have faith in Jesus. How can God be just and the justifier? Okay, justified means making it as declaring it not guilty, basically. So if you're in a court case and the judge says, I dismiss this case, you are not guilty, you're free to go. You have just been justified. How is it possible that God could justify someone who has done evil and still be just? Right? If you are guilty and you've done it, a judge cannot just say, never mind, you're free to go. Especially, let's imagine it was a murderer. They can't just say, you're free to go. How is it possible he could be just, a just, righteous judge, and forgive those who just have faith in Jesus? How is it possible? The answer is in the power of what Jesus did on the cross. On the cross, the mercy of God and the justice of God meet together, and that's where the power is. Jesus dies, and because God poured out the punishment on Jesus, he's able to freely forgive those who just believe in Jesus. And Paul says this is the meaning. God's just and the justifier of the one who just believes in Jesus. How are you saved? By doing good stuff? Nope. You're saved by faith, putting faith in what Jesus did on the cross when the justice and mercy of God met. See you tomorrow.